Welcome to our 100th annual meeting. And thank you for taking the time from your farms to help recognize our centennial, which we have celebrated throughout this past year. And what a year it has been.
Policy, awards, and the Centennial Gala mark a whirlwind week at Michigan Farm Bureau's 100th state annual meeting. I'm Janelle Brose, and this is Farm News 5.
Farm News 5 is brought to you by Ford.
Michigan Farm Bureau wrapped up its 100th state annual meeting this week, putting a bow on its year-long centennial celebration. Nearly 1,000 farmers, family members, and special guests traveled to Grand Rapids to take part in policy adoption, contests, award ceremonies, and to hear from guest speakers. In his annual address to members on December 3rd, Michigan Farm Bureau President Carl Bednarski discussed agriculture's wins and losses in 2019.
We are all frustrated by the failure of Congress to approve USMCA. Even though we are assured the votes are there, the Speaker of the House refuses to schedule it for a floor vote. When we can't approve a trade deal with our two closest neighbors, it sends a message to the global marketplace. It says we're more concerned with politics than being serious contenders in agricultural trade. On a positive note, we finally have a trade deal with Japan, our third largest export market. As a result, Michigan farmers will have the opportunity to compete on a level playing field, gaining access to 127 million Japanese consumers.
Weather presented another unique challenge for producers in 2019. The unusually wet spring kept farmers out of the fields, leading to a record number of prevent plant acres on Michigan farms.
We heard your concerns with prevent plant deadlines and questions of what could be planted on those acres for cover. Also, as well as the lack of the forage. As a result, a meeting was held with commodity executives, MDARD, NRCS, FSA, RMA, MSU, and agribusiness to work on a solution. We met on a Friday and worked throughout the weekend, believe it or not. By Monday, we had revised guidelines in place for producers, including emergency forage provisions from RMA for crop insurance policyholders.
If you want a car from a company that's been building them for 115 years, get a Ford. If you want a car with driver assist technology, get a Ford. You're gonna want a Ford.
Michigan Farm Bureau's grassroots policy development process reached its culmination on the delegate floor during the state annual meeting, as over 400 delegates voted to adopt policy recommendations made at the local level. Policies adopted become the position for the organization for the coming year.
So setting policy for me is vitally important because this is the lifeblood of our organization. Here we are celebrating our 100th anniversary, and the policy development process is literally what got us to this point. It's very unique, it's very special to Michigan Farm Bureau. This is where the delegates get to say their piece and they set the course for Michigan Farm Bureau.
Now, I don't think there's very many people in this room that think that that is necessarily a great idea. So I am proposing an amendment.
One of the policies I would say that garnered a lot of discussion was the hemp policy. Hemp is obviously very new. We just got authorization through the last Farm Bill to be able to grow it. And I think growers are in the learning curve. So we're trying to figure this out and figure out how to make sure growers can be profitable at growing hemp. So for example, the 0.3% level of THC, we tried to advocate, or we're going to advocate for a 1% to try to get that so it's not such a hot crop, so that way growers don't have to maybe abandon their crop due to it maybe hitting a 0.4 level. Based on some resolutions that came in from counties and advisory committees, we took a pretty aggressive approach to strictly enforce the baiting ban. Tons of discussion in regards to if it's effective to control TB. So the delegates ultimately decided to add in some language and sort of reverse the policy position that we would support a small level of baiting to encourage eliminating the deer population, or at least bringing it down. I think everybody agreed we need to bring the deer population down to help control TB. I would say to specialty crop growers, we added some language in our international trade policy that we're going to recommend on to AFBF because it's not in our policy book. But we're going to try to advocate for specialty crops. Michigan's the #2 most diverse state in the nation, so we got to stand up for specialty crop growers, and we're trying to include some language that makes it better for specialty crops that were adversely affected by trade.
I'm all about cheaper higher education, but we already face budget shortfalls in the state, and higher education has taken on the brunt of a lot of that.
So what's special about our policy development process in regards to the delegate session is we have members who are there for the first time, and we also have members that have been coming for 30, 40 years. So they have a lot of relationships. That's one of the beauties of Michigan Farm Bureau's annual meeting is it's a time for everybody to get together and network. And there's a lot of networking and established relationships that happens on that floor. So it's very encouraging when you can have tough conversations with each other, but there's a mutual respect across the aisle that these individuals can have, and they can have disagreements, but at the end of the day, they can iron out their differences and we can move forward as one.
Whatever your agribusiness, Foster Swift can help you devise a succession plan that helps you transfer management and ownership of your business the way you intend. Let us help create a plan that meets your specific needs. Learn more at fosterswift.com.
It's not all politics and business at the state annual meeting. There's also opportunities for Farm Bureau members to flex their problem-solving skills during the annual Young Farmer Discussion Meet. Young farmers ages 18 to 35 compete in the annual event, while even younger Farm Bureau members test their skills in the youth and collegiate level discussion meets.
2029, that is the year that cell-based meats will be made for the general public consumption based on the price point of these meats.
After a dozen regional contests and 4 rounds of competition, first-time competitor Cora Alkema of Mecosta County was named the 2019 Young Farmer Discussion Meet winner.
So the preparation that I did for this event was actually talk to industry experts, go a lot of with my background within animal science and currently livestock behavior and welfare, and also talk with industry professionals and farmers based off of their current issues that they're working with, especially with the topics that we were dealing with today, and their ideas, their solutions, and the ways that they have found or that they think we could all come together and as Farm Bureau work on these issues.
As the state-level winner, Alkema receives a $2,000 cash prize from AIS Equipment and a paid trip to compete in the national-level Young Farmer and Rancher Discussion Meet, which will be held at the 101st American Farm Bureau Federation Convention and Trade Show in Austin, Texas, next month. The Collegiate Discussion Meet winner is Michael Seja of Delta Collegiate Farm Bureau, and the Youth Discussion Meet winner is Emma Barnum of Mason High School in Ingham County. Rich Baker of the St. Joseph County Farm Bureau was recognized as the 2019 Young Farmer Achievement Award winner. Jairus Rubing of the Antrim County Farm Bureau was named the 2019 Agriculture Leader Award winner. Joe Ankley of the Lapeer County Farm Bureau was honored as the 2019 recipient of the Excellence in Agriculture Award, and Brenda Sisson, Clinton County Farm Bureau member, was honored as the 2019 Agriculture Employee of the Year. For her efforts to rally members to spread the word about Michigan agriculture, Amanda Cucci of Macomb County Farm Bureau was honored as the 2019 Presidential Volunteer of the Year. Jeremy Windsor of Fulton Middle and High School in Middleton was named Michigan Farm Bureau's Educator of the Year. For more news and video from the state annual meeting, visit MichiganFarmNews.com and the Michigan Farm Bureau channel on YouTube. With Farm News 5, I'm Janelle Gross. Have a great week of farming.